Joining us now from Washington is one of the leading Democratic voices on energy issues in Congress, and that is Representative Ed Markey of Massachusetts. And Congressman, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And it's clear that you have been frustrated by Tony Hayward, and that when he gave those evasive answers, you felt evasive answers when you grilled him on Capitol Hill last month. How do you feel about this imminent change? Is it too late in coming for you?
Well, he had to go. He was the leader of this company. He was the one that allowed the company to run up the worst safety record of any oil company in the world. He was the one that allowed the company to say that it was only 1,000 barrels of oil per day going into the Gulf of Mexico. Then only 5,000 barrels of oil per day were going into the Gulf of Mexico, when we now know it was 35,000 to 60,000 barrels per day, which directly affected how rapid and large the response to this bill was. So he had to go. He was the leader of a company. He created the culture of this company. Now let us hope that this company can turn the page and become a responsible corporate citizen. Up until now, it has not been.
And you said as late as Friday, you released a statement over the weekend. You said in part, "I received yet another reminder of Hayward's aloof, uninformed leadership." What exactly happened?
Well, again, Tony Hayward testified that the drilling mud that they put into this well back about a month ago had no toxic materials in it. And BP reported back to me on Friday that there were dangerous chemicals in that toxic mud. So he not only allowed for deliberate misrepresentations to take place, but he was also obviously ignorant of what was happening. And the actions of his own company were things that he did not feel direct responsibility for knowing about and being accountable for.
No denying that he made some blunders and that some insensitive remarks as well. And there's some people, though, that feel that he is being made the scapegoat here. He was put in his position in 2007. He said it was going to take some time to change the corporate culture there at BP. And now we're hearing that Bob Dudley, who grew up there in Mississippi, very familiar with the Gulf Coast, do you think that kind of, does that signal a true change to you in their culture, in their thinking?
Well, Mr. Dudley is from Mississippi, which is a step in the right direction. But at the same time, Mr. Dudley did represent just a month ago that the relief well could be completed as soon as tomorrow. And tomorrow actually happens to be the day when the last quarterly financial report of BP is going to be made public. So I actually don't like the fact that they picked the date, which is something that they're not going to meet, as a coincidence that it dealt with the financial report, because ultimately I think many people in the Gulf of Mexico and the United States believe that BP has been much too interested in its own liability and not enough in the livability of the Gulf of Mexico. Mr. Dudley now has to turn the page and move beyond the era that Mr. Hayward presided over.
Well, you certainly have been at the forefront, and we'll see what happens at the board meeting with BP today, and I'm sure we'll be talking with you again on down the road. Congressman Markey, thank you very much for being with us this morning.